Alright, so welcome back to the party here. Today, kind of not the best of days, but was going to do some work on the Crossfire, and then found out, as it's barreling way too hot, that the cat damaged the dryer vent. So all of the dryer venting is being done inside the house, and that is no good at all in this temperature. So we're going to replace this ancient one to a brand new one that's at a different location to not create such a disaster in the laundry room. So that's what I plan on doing today, and hopefully if it goes quickly and there isn't so much wind, we can get to doing a couple little things on the Crossfire before we call it a day. But let's just get rolling. Alright, so I already determined where I'm going to put my hole, and it lines up with where the old one went, so I know I'm within the stud cavity. And we'll just line her up and let her rip. And sometimes if it catches hard like that in siding, reverse works. Then once you're through the plastic, you can turn it back to forward and take care of the rest. Alright, now we're into the wood sheathing here. And there we are. Perfect. Now, this guy can fit right in there. But before we do that, we're going to trim the siding so it sits in. Alright. Yeah, something like that. Now we just grab our universal cutter . Alright, that's going to get as good as it's going to get. Alright, that's not going anywhere. Well, there we go. Now let's see what type of mess we have inside. Alright, so we are inside, and as you can see we have the original wall here, and then I have this kind of false wall that I made, so there's enough room to run all these wires from redoing the house, plumbing for the washer, and then we can run the dryer vent straight from right there. So we're just gonna have to measure how long of a section we need so we don't get too terribly long, and we can just jack it in there. Alright, so we got our tube all straightened up, and we are going to make sure we get it all sealed up properly with some proper duct tape. Alright, so we got that on there. It's like you use tape to hold dryer ducts together. That way you get a straight shot. You don't use screws because the screws can hang on to lint and such, and you don't want that. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is run a strip down to seal this gap here. It's like they usually hold pretty well, but it's kind of one of those things, if you're going through the trouble of doing all this stuff, may as well seal anything that can screw up what you're doing. And you kind of want all of this to get out of the house. Alright, so that's all sealed up. Now we'll just latch it into the vent head over there and we'll be almost done. Alright, that's locked in. Get ourselves our nylon strap. Alright, so here's where the real magic happens. We got the little box down there. You can see this is the section that the cat annihilated. So, we'll have to liberate that and see what we have to rig up in here. There we go. All right. That should fit there. So I can jack that guy up right in there. And then here we can just smush our pipe to fit this oval. And there we go. I like it. That looks pretty good there. And we got the place to hide the other section. This way we can just throw sheetrock on when I actually close this thing up. Which I probably won't close this thing up until I know all of my wires that I need to be run are run. Because I'm still going to have to run a couple of these big orange cords for air conditioning. So I still need access to this section of the house because that's where it's gonna pass through. So, I guess we'll just get our dryer duct and hook it up to the dryer. Alright, we got that piece there. Now we just jam it up there until it clips in. We should be able to slide this pig all the way back in. And she's in. Nice. There we go. Throw some caulking around it and we're perfect. Alright, so before we go, I thought I'd show you how my hockey puck system will work. So, pretty much have our hockey puck sanded down the sides, drilled a hole through the middle, countersunk it for the bolt, so that way the bolt will fit in there, and then on the underside, this will just lock right in there, no place to go. And if we get it set right over here by the end tank, it'll lock it right in the end. So that's basically $2 a piece. Maybe cheaper if you find them cheaper, but you can buy them brand new at the discount sports place. That's where I picked up a few more. So we can just lock them in the end tanks and just let them sit. So we'll do that on the bottom section. It'll raise the radiator probably about an inch. Which, that'd be pretty good. Top of the lid will be up here. That will work. All right. So I guess I don't feel like doing anything anymore today. Alright, although we weren't working on the Crossfire at all too much, except for maybe my hockey puck, I consider today a decent use of a day. So we're going to leave you here and hopefully it'll cool off a little bit so we can get in this garage. Now the reason I'm not like cranking on the big fan that I have here is that I got all this junk, like all the floor dry and everything from when we were doing the engine, and I don't want it flying all over the place, getting into places that it doesn't belong. So once we get the engine thrown back in here and get the clutch on it, that type of stuff, once we get that all thrown in here so I can clean this whole front area once again, then I can crank on the fan and we can survive during the summer. But I guess we'll leave it here. I'm probably about half a gallon short on liquids, so I'm gonna go into the house and chug some, and I guess we'll see you later.